Richard Lochhead, Cabinet Secretary for Rural Affairs, Food and the Environment.
And we're here today at the first Rural Parliament sponsored by CalMac. How have you found it so far?
I'm taken aback by the huge enthusiasm from what is largely grassroots activists from our rural communities the length and breadth of Scotland, and hearing people clearly talking about the big challenges facing the future of rural Scotland, as well as celebrating all the various successes that are out there, because people in rural Scotland are very creative. And of course CalMac, it's great to have CalMac here. Both the Chair and the Chief Executive are at this event, which I think is a very good commitment to working with the rural communities, to hearing their concerns. And of course CalMac, of all organisations in Scotland, has got a fantastic experience of working with the rural, in particular also our island communities. So I think this is a good start to what is a new rural movement in Scotland.
And is there anything that particularly jumped out at you today that you found quite surprising?
Well, I think there's a lot of the big agendas being discussed here, from land reform to rural transport, which have clear interest to CalMac, and connectivity, mobile phone, broadband connections. And the constructive way in which these grassroots people are here is to look for solutions to some of these problems, and that's what we're here to talk about, is what not only the challenges, but the solutions. So I think this is a new rural movement that is starting here in Oban, and I think in a few years we'll look back and think this is the start of a new engagement with rural communities and a bigger voice for rural Scotland.
And I heard earlier on that you took a trip to Mull recently. How was that?
Well, I was a huge fan of the islands. I'm a regular user of the CalMac ferries. Indeed, only a couple of weeks ago I was over there for a short break in Mull, so we were experiencing the fantastic service from CalMac, and thankfully the weather on the day I went over wasn't too bad given what's been happening over the previous days. So clearly everywhere I go in the islands as Rural Affairs Secretary, people talk to me about how vital the ferry services are and the role that CalMac plays in local communities.
That's great, thank you.